What's up, everybody? Welcome into our very first podcast episode in what hopes to be a long-running series. Don't forget to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/tabletop collective. We got a few really cool perks up on there and a lot more coming soon, so don't forget to check it out. We've got Boone, myself, we got Tim here, and Derek.
How's it going, guys?
Of course, check out Tim's comic that's releasing now. Actually, you can probably go find a copy pretty soon in stores, right?
You can grab a copy from Indie Planet if you want to order online, or if you live in an area with Coliseum of Comics, they stock it, and I think a few other regional as well have placed retail orders.
Heck yeah. Wolf Hunter is the title of that one by Silverline Comics. It's gonna be super rad. We've all seen little snippets of some of the artwork, and it's phenomenal. So be sure to check that out. Also check out all the other videos on our YouTube channel. So yeah, these podcasts are gonna kind of just be general tabletop talk, I guess. We might focus here and there on different armies if we so choose. Like I usually play Easterlings, so I feel like I'm pretty comfortable with them. So we might have an Easterling episode, or Boone's comfortable with Rohan, so we might have a Rohan episode. But yeah, it's just gonna kind of be about all things tabletop.
Table talk.
Heck yeah. Table talk. Hey, there's a name. Yeah. Table talk.
Table talk.
Yes. So I figured this week. Tabletop. I like it.
Yep.
TT.
TTs.
The TTs. So we've actually got a tournament coming up on the 21st in Portland. We're in like the Portland area.
Dude, that's
area as in we're
days.
Like an hour from it. But yeah, we got a 600-point tournament. Figured we could just talk about our list, what we brought. We've all done a handful of practice games. Maybe kind of how those went. I can't even remember like half of them, but
yeah, me neither.
I have detailed notes on every decision, every dice roll.
Of course you do. Of course.
Yeah, maybe just strategies that we want to use, or that sort of stuff. I don't know. Does anyone want to go first, or should I just go for it?
Why don't you take the lead, buddy?
Yeah, take it away.
Okay. Actually, let's all just say what we're bringing. That'd be cool, I guess. I'm doing Riders of Theoden.
Boo.
Yeah, the horsies.
I've got Easterlings with Cond, bringing a few traits in with some of the new Easterling heroes.
I am bringing Minas Tirith, featuring some Guard of the Fountain Court, Boromir, Huron, and Ingold.
Then, Derek, what were you gonna bring?
I was going to bring Forces of Good, the Return of the King.
Return of the King Legion, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got Riders of Theoden. I think I've got 21 models. So, no, 20. One of them is Dernhelm, which is 2. So I've got 19 or 20 horses.
Do you not have your list in front of you?
No, I do. I was just trying to do it by memory.
He wants to be off sheet by the tournament.
Yeah, that's right. I need to remember everything. I'll just go down my war bands and what they are.
Yeah.
So I've got Theoden. He's on an armored horse. He's got a heavy armored shield, which he has to have in the Legion. And he's the leader. I think that's like the only requirement of this Legion. Just him on a heavy armored horse with heavy armor and a shield. He's got 5 Riders of Rohan with throwing spears. And we've got Warband 2 with Dernhelm, with 5 Riders of Rohan and throwing spears. Ooh. Warband 3 is Darrowwine with 2 Riders of Rohan with throwing spears. And then Warband 4 is a Captain of Rohan with a shield. And all these have horses, obviously. 3 Riders of Rohan with throwing spears, and then 1 rider with a banner. I know people will probably ask, where's Gambling and where's Royal Guard?
That was my first question and second question.
Don't have Royal Guard models.
No, that's not true. We have one. We got one Royal Guard model.
I guess we have one. We didn't have it till after we submitted our lists. There we go. And then Gambling, I haven't just wanted to try some of the other guys. He got nerfed, and I guess I hear he's still really good, but I felt like the damage the nerfs did was pretty brutal, so I just wanted to try something different.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Um,
nowhere near what he used to be for sure, but I mean, anytime you can regain might points,
Yeah.
that's pretty big.
And the past one or two this games, I did run out of might a few times, and then
Yeah.
yeah, maybe next time, next practices before the next tournament, I'll try some matches with gambling and see how it goes. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty basic. My strategies with this are pretty simple. I've just like I'll set up kind of half and half depending on deployment, what type of scenario it is. Kind of like two halves, two warbands in one, two warbands in the other place. Kind of. If my opponent kind of sets up similarly, and I see one side is probably weaker than the other side, I'll leave my two smaller warbands, if that's what I placed across from them or whatnot, kind of sitting there as bait, waiting for them to commit. And if they're not a cavalry army, then I'll just run away and engage those forces with my other two warbands on their weaker side. Try to grind them all up before their other army can reach me, that kind of thing. And if it's an objective match, I'll kind of leave a couple stragglers that I can just run to the objectives whenever I need them to, that sort of thing. Pretty easy to play. I don't know. I don't have anything mind blowing with them. They've all got No, not really. I am the meta. I love throwing spears, which we've played in like 3 tournaments now. We've played in 3 tournaments, right, Will, or 4?
3, I believe now. Yeah.
And I've gotten maybe 2 kills with throwing spears, and that's counting a tournament with Elfhelm, and that's his whole shtick.
Yeah, I mean that's 2 more kills than I've gotten. So that's how good I am with them.
That's why I also dropped all my ranged.
Yeah, I mean
it's weird.
They are good to have. Obviously, I mean anytime you can throw more dice, that's gonna be good. But the problem is, for both of us, I don't know if it's just our second roll or what, but we just don't get to wounds with them ever. We can hit all day long, but it just falls short,
And the wound rolls are always like 1s with throwing spears.
Right.
That's
awful. And so it's kind of a trade-off. Like, would you rather drop all of your spears and have 2-ish more riders?
Yeah.
Or be able to throw 20 dice, so it can go either way, hard. But I would probably take throwing spears.
I would too. Generally, I hear everyone say if you can give everyone throwing spears, do it.
Right.
But if it was maybe like a really low points tournament and it's either everyone has throwing spears or you get 2 more horses, I'd probably do the horses.
I'd probably lean more towards horses too.
Yeah, when I mentioned this in our Fabled group chat, but I was doing math on wounding with ranged weapons in Masibig, and it compared to like other G-Dub properties, wounding with ranged weapons, typically in Middle Earth, unless you have special rules, you end up falling anywhere between like a 10 and 20% chance per 10 units with bows, scoring a single wound per round. So if it usually ends up favoring you just statistically to be more punchy and more mobile.
Yeah, but I don't know. A lot of it is, of course, chance. I mean, we're playing with dice, so it's not like we have full control. Because I've had games where I take elves and I shoot out an entire warband before they even get to within 6 inches of me. So
our first battle report, or no, the one we just put up.
Yeah, the one we just put up was
entire warband in the first round was shooting.
Yeah, and that was against D6 guys. So
I needed 6s, so that was
had to roll 6. Yeah.
When you and I did a practice match, you killed my first 2 with bows.
Army of the Dead with bows.
Army of the Dead. So he rolled 6s and
6
4s.
4s. Yeah.
Before even got to him, I was like, "This is over." I ended up winning, but I was like, I was upset.
I guess it's just army dependent and maybe even points dependent. Like
yeah.
Tim with your Gondor, if it was like way higher points.
I'd bring some range, but at this value, I'm like, I can either get like a sub 10% chance of getting a wound in a match.
Yeah, but I'll take 10%.
Sub 10.
Like it's sub 10%. If it's that extra, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either that or I bring in a like 60% chance of scoring additional wounds in melee and just with a reduced chance of getting
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, you're better off probably going with either something like the Rangers of Athelion, where it's literally all Rangers plus Frodo and Sam, or doing your Gondor Shield Ball. So
the Shield Ball is pretty awesome.
I'm at the point where like my defense is just gonna like you can throw shots, but don't care.
Yeah.
I think this is actually so much luck involved. There is some strategy, but I feel for me, it's like I usually have the luck or I don't. Like with evil or good, I just
the roll offs.
Gonna get them all, or I'm
you
not
win one.
Yeah.
I don't think you won one roll off.
Yeah.
I think with Will, both you guys, I didn't win a single one. I was like, what is this BS?
And I mean that's the whole game too, because like priorities, I've played plenty of matches where I didn't win a single priority, and that does help factor into how the game's going to end. But if you're a good general, you can play around that still.
Yeah, react well.
It's all about like positioning and managing your lanes of attack and defense, and trying to envelop. Because weirdly enough, in a game that is determined by dice rolls, if you can envelop your opponent's army, you still have a higher chance of winning, just because you are forced them to fight in multiple directions.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is a nice segue, because that's what my army is all about.
Yeah.
Is I try to like hammer and anvil them and squish them, so then I can just have all these horsey charges, and then call death at the exact right time, which is the special rule where everyone within a foot of Theoden gets a hero combat. I've had a couple games. The last tournament where I called a pretty good one, and it ended up like pretty much slingshotting and killing like a quarter of his team, which was pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean it's super important to remember too that you can also strike off of that. So
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, like if you have say you have Darrowwine and Theoden in the same combat already, with one of them you could call a combat, and the other one you call a strike to make sure you win on the fight, and then they both would then be charging on to the next thing.
Strike too? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're here. Once per game at the start of any fight phase, so as long as he's alive and on the battlefield, Theoden can declare that he's using this ability. Every friendly Rohan hero within 12 inches may declare either a combat or a strike without expending might.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's
super handy.
Good to know. Something I've done the past couple tournaments too on objective matches, which I thought was kind of funny. It won me 2 games. Is off of I called death in like the last turn. I won a hero at combat, and I was within range to run and tag an objective. So I ran away from the battle and just on the objective, and it won me the game twice.
Yeah, that's the
kind of sneakily got it.
Yeah. Especially if you're marching. I mean, you get 15-inch movement.
Oh yeah, it's nuts. But that's pretty much it for my army. It's super basic. It's just make sure you win priority so you can get charges, and if not, heroic move so you can get charges. I should probably take gambling next time.
No, talking about basic. That's my army. You just have high defense with terror and be like, oh, you think you can attack me? No. I'll go next. My warband one is Aragorn, Strider with Andrew. I got 4 Warriors of the Dead's shield and spears, and 3 with just shields. Warband 2, I've got the King of the Dead. He's the best. He's my favorite. With 3 Warriors and shields, shield and spears, 3 with regular shields, and I messed this up and added another warrior with a spear and a shield at the end.
Eagle-esque.
And the last one I've got Herald of the Dead with a shield and 2 riders, just in case in the back to get those points.
Yeah,
just kind of.
I think having mobility is always good, even if it's just 2 guys.
Yeah. Anytime you have extra movement over anybody else, you've got an edge.
You can like tie up people with your warriors and then charge in with your riders and get the charge bonus.
Yeah, so Derek, you didn't have a chance to play with the Herald yet.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that would have been real fun to
They're
get a couple games in.
They're in TTS.
yeah, we gotta play with them. They're pretty cool.
Oh, 1 second. Keep going. My DoorDash is here. Be right back.
Perfect. You can tell we're online content creators.
Yeah, I was kind of
What?
excited to see the Heralds in action myself.
Yeah, we'll
They don't
probably
have-
see them there anyways.
Oh, yeah, more than likely. There's always at least one other person that has the Virtue of the King, so
Yeah,
one less in the tournament. I'm not too upset about.
no, love you, Dick.
Yeah. Depending on how the meta develops, if at any point they end up releasing like new supplements or an FAQ for Army of the Dead, I'm like, all right, I'm just running Men of Gondor, like or whatever the
Men of the West.
Men of the West. Like,
Yeah.
courage doesn't matter.
I don't know if at this point they're gonna touch any
I don't because
Army of the Dead stuff.
right. They seem like they've been legacy for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, well,
it's so weird. They have
but then looking at how
Warrior.
G-Dubs has handled other properties though, they've just buffed the heck out of Tyranids and they were legacy all throughout 8th essentially, 8th and 7th.
Really?
So maybe.
never know. They only have
Yeah.
even if I'm sure they could come up with some sort of new model or maybe even like update
Mhm.
the riders or something.
Yeah.
I mean, they did just update the Herald, not just, but they updated the Heralds. Not Heralds, they're new, but they updated the King. Yeah, they only have 4 models.
Yeah,
Models, yeah.
honestly,
King Herald,
Four
Rider.
types, but different
Yeah.
poses.
and the same deal happened with Necrons where he had like 5 models and like, okay, here's the list of 20 now.
Yeah,
But-
so maybe they could.
but-
That'd be
but-
cool if they go through and,
Yeah.
and did that with a bunch of the older factions.
Yeah, what they so
Or-
if it's G-Dub is going to be tied to business, they're really going to change their printing or molding type, and they're going to change like whatever cast type they use. They're going to update that to be more efficient, and like we can use this to also then sell more of the new stuff. So they're going to make
Yep.
I wonder if they could use, maybe they can make some sort of army with those people when they were like alive or whatever. I forget what people they were.
I've seen a lot of people make that conversion. I think
Yeah.
they just use the same stats, but they do conversions that look like they're alive, and it actually looks super, super cool.
That's cool.
What are Men of Karn Doom, I think.
Something like that. I forget.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the movies in like 2 years. Shame. We need to do a marathon.
Yeah, it's a yearly thing.
Let us consult the text.
Got mine's up in my closet. It's out of reach. I don't know, what do you think about the games you have played, Derek? Because you've only played like a handful now.
Well, I think it's a lot of fun. The only other people I played as was elves one time. So
Yeah.
I've been trying to get better with the dead, but I kind of feel just a little bit bad playing as them. it's like, because I personally wouldn't want to play against them.
I wouldn't feel bad just because pretty much every force has ways to deal with them now.
Yeah.
Like the way I would deal with them is just expensive monetary wise, so it's annoying.
Yeah.
Because if I get bodyguards, not bodyguards, royal guard, they have the rule of bodyguard, which makes them auto pass courage test, so it wouldn't really matter to me to tear apart at least.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same for Tim's army too.
Yeah.
But sorry, they just cost freaking $50 or $60 for 2 riders or something. Or
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how much was like $50 for a pack of 4.
Oh, I mean, not terrible, but yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's dumb. It's
Yeah.
too much. I don't want to play it.
I think also like you kind of develop the tough skin like if you play like Age of Sigmar or 40k for a while. GW intentionally does not balance their games. They write it they write the rules based on the fluff. So I mean, Battlefield No Fields, the Dead of Dunharrow just mauled an entire army of Mordor. So like that's our fluff. You just have a small group that mauls an army. And it's apparently a hobby that you. I mean, there are other companies that do produce balanced games, but for GW line, it's you buy based off what's cool. Essentially, you make it work, or you just play for flavor.
Yeah, I mean the rule of cool has always been a thing for Lord of the Rings.
Mhm.
That's actually what I love most about this game. Getting into it is there's no one specific meta. The quote unquote meta is actually like 6 different factions that all do super well, but it's mostly just how you play and how well you're able to do what you can do.
Yeah.
Which has always been super cool. Like what was the new legend? The Fall of the Necromancer or Vanquisher's Necromancer? Sorry, that is like the coolest legendary legion to me, and it wrecked shop for a little bit. Of course,
Really?
the recent FAQ they kind of turned it down just a little bit. It can still do pretty well, but if
How many
it's
models were in that?
let's see, Saruman, Gandalf, Galadriel, Elrond, and Radagast.
Pretty
So
crazy.
5.
Yeah, not even that many, but it wrecked whole armies.
Yeah, it destroyed armies. But if you're playing an objective-based scenario, you almost lose every single time. So it has its ups and downs. But
yeah, that's and then like kind of the true use case for exactly what you're saying is what I find playing my specific list is that killing matches I'm just kind of like that is what it is. Objective matches I'm unstoppable. I am the blob.
Yeah, if you get your gold warband on top of an objective, they push the other people back.
Yeah,
so you're just not getting.
So even if you're killing me, you're being pushed off the objective.
Yeah.
I guess
I just thought of you could slowly like even if you're losing the combats, if you win priority, you could move people up a little bit and just keep pushing them away from the objective.
we'll use this as a segue into my list, I guess. But yeah, that like it's kind of the why I always Spartan shuffle them is it reminds me a lot of like ancient Hellenic warfare. I want to say it was Thebes, especially was known for this, where and they would always be like essentially pushing one flank or the other. So like no matter kind of what the odds were, they're always just trying to gain momentum. So just keep on like bashing forward. So that's what that warband reminds me of. Is just even if they're getting slogged, just pushing them back, just trying to shove with the shields until you can like create an opening and send in like the right flank.
I was gonna say it's your Spartan shield wall. It's just every death, no matter which team it is, it's a hoorah up forward.
Exactly. Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to add about your army or anything, Derek?
I'm still learning them, so I haven't even touched the Herald. So I'm new. I'm green, like my guys. Match. It's a beautiful thing, but I'm sure I'll have more to say when I go to my first tournament. I haven't been to any, so I don't really know what to expect. But I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah,
fun. I enjoy them.
I'm ready to win the next one.
Right. Okay, all right. You gotta get past me first.
Just kill Will's chariots and then you're on your way.
That's pretty true. Anyways,
so I am bringing Boromir as my leader on a horse shield carrying the banner of Minas Tirith. With 6 knights of Minas Tirith on obviously on horse with lance and shields. Huron the Tall, Warden of the Keys. Name is Braylon for the most minute fluff. He gets like mentioned twice in ancillary content. But completely unrelated, but we had a conversation about lore. Like, is this the Huron from Children of Huron? And I'm like, well, no, it's a descendant, and he's inherited the name. And I got that lore actually dead on when I was kind of like trying to like pull out from the pics of my brain. Yeah, this was the the Huron who down the line had the Warden sword, and he held essentially the city keys of Gondor. So that's why he's the Warden of the Keys. During the during the War of the Rings, so he was at the Battle of Pelennor Fields.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And if you are a Patreon and join our Discord, you might also be able to hop into our Lord of the Rings Online guild clan thing.
Yes.
And there is a Huron, and you'll run into Huron when you get to that section of the storyline.
Lord of the Rings Online. We're back, baby.
That's a plug. All right.
Yes.
And in his warband, I'm bringing 5 of the Fountain Court Guard of the Fountain Court, Fountain boys, with shield.
Can we talk about what your phone autocorrected them to, or is that not appropriate for
I feel like
podcasts and YouTube?
it's appropriate. I mean, if it's been more than 3 minutes, so we can start swearing if we wanted to. It's not even a
That's
swear
true.
word.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the best autocorrect possible, my phone turned him to Guard of the Foreskin Court.
No, that's what they're so eloquently named in our group now, as the Foreskin Guards.
Yes. The fact that I read all of that and it's like foreskin is what goes in that face.
Oh man, I died.
Yeah. So my foreskin guard in the group brought specifically because of their high defense and strong killing potential, but also the bodyguard rule is very helpful for when they do come against warband, like Army of the Dead armies or anything that has sort of that terror role. I believe if anyone is bringing which Angmar, I think that was something I probably run into.
There's probably like at least 2.
Yeah, there's gotta be like 2 Angmars.
Yeah, so it's just handy to have. And my last leader is Ingold, Warden of the Ramas Ekor.
Which is the outer wall.
Yes.
For Minas Tirith.
Oh,
yeah.
Boom.
Yes. And so when partial pull from what'll be eventually be our Lord of the Rings lore podcast, but when Gandalf and Pippin came to Gondor, Denethor had essentially passed a law that no strangers are allowed to enter into Gondor, because there's fears that they would be spies for the forces of Sauron. But Ingold trusted in the, I think it said he said he believed in their faith of arms and goodwill of Gandalf and Pippin, that he made the exception to open the gate and let them in. So kind of cool factoid about him.
Big ups to Ingold.
Yep. And with his warband, I have 5 warriors of Minas Tirith with spear and shield, and 7 with just shield. So yeah, blob. So kind of do that. Is that normally with the blob you'd want to have maybe more spears than swords, but just points wise it worked out that way. And then also I can move my Fountain Court to reinforce them if need be. But with Ingold's rule, which Resolute Fighter, that if win or lose a fight, the enemy gets pushed back an inch.
Yeah. I didn't think that would be that big of a deal, but it was so annoying.
It's very annoying. It's very handy. But I think honestly, like the best result from that was that if you were trying to attack me, but you're constantly getting pushed back in it, you're not getting to my spear guys.
Yeah.
So even having like a lower spear amount, spear count, it just being able to, keep them alive so they can reinforce as 1 or 2 guys dies off the front.
Mm-hmm. And go for it.
I was gonna say, what's your model count?
Model count is 23 warriors, 600 points on the nose.
Okay.
And if you don't have pikes in the army, I don't necessarily think you always need to have more spears, because you're never going to be able to go too deep, like in a pike block anyways. Right. So, you could shave off a couple of spears and potentially get another just dude in there. So, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and it's just it's handy to have.
Yeah.
But they seem just having those 4 spears so you can kind of bounce around in the backline as needed seemed to do. Mm-hmm. When I was playing against, we're doing a half practice, half not really friendly with Boone playing as the wargs, and just being able to essentially bounce wargs off the front and then move a spear guy to whatever side his warg was on was great.
Yeah. It's a weird game.
Yeah.
What's your overall strategy?
I was about to get that and my brain died. Yeah.
I got you. Don't worry.
Yes. So my overall strategy is using the knights kind of like outriders, Boromir is a beast with a ton of might who is very hard to kill. And
So much might.
yeah, and so using him to kind of run out, take the advantage, and pin opponent forces, which is like my one hope for killing matches, but it frees up so much more to objective matches. Just using him to pin dudes, and then my Fountain Court, and Huron can then pile in on top of that and do a lot of the killing. Huron having the mastercrafted hand and a half sword, so he's swinging two-handed without penalty is great. Also his passive that allows him to negate points. So if Boromir does get wounded or die, my opponent does not get victory points if the scenario calls for it, as long as Huron's alive.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Which could actually be pretty key because
Yeah.
with Boromir on the field, people are gonna immediately target him, at least target his horse and knock him off that.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
if he goes down in most scenarios we play, I mean that's 3 points, which is huge.
Yeah, but if Huron's staying alive with his blob of Foreskin Court, you know, I'm denying VP right there. If I was running King Elisar, I'd be able to use his active, but that would be something more for like 800 points and above.
Probably 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just being able to pin with the knights, which already do a ton of killing with their lances, finish up with Foreskin Court, and then have Ingol's Blob hold objectives as needed or wrap around to finish that enveloping for killing.
Yeah.
Is kind of the
Those
overstrat.
lances did work on wargs.
Yeah. The lances always seem to do work. I think I just didn't get exactly how to play them when the time we played before when you're running a Rohan list. I didn't quite know how to run the pinning at that point into a fast army. But I picked it up in time to run against the wargs. But I know the first time we'd played, we'd actually drawn, and I think I was better about pinning at that point. So yeah, but definitely just the sheer defensive value of Gondor warriors with shield wall, with heavy armor, sitting on an objective, always bouncing opponents off kind of no matter what. It's the
cool.
The ability to stick to an objective is so potent there. But yeah, and statistically and just practically, I found that running a smaller amount of Fountain Court does yield a lot more killing than running any amount of Rangers had in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I played you the couple times with the Rangers, it was like an auto.
Yeah.
Go murk them and then wrap around and get the rest of your army because they were their defense was so low.
And if you're playing against any sort of cav, that's what's going to happen every single time.
Yeah.
That reminds me of something too. I completely forgot about my list. Is that on a charge, everyone in the army gets +1 strength, and all warrior models and my captain get +1 fight if they're within a foot of Theoden, which can be pretty crazy because on the captain it gives them like fight 5 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I just forgot about that. It just reminded me.
Yeah, that's my army, is just outride to pin, follow up with pointy boys, and then either blob in the objective or blob around the flank. Once I actually got that, I kind of locked into my brain. It seemed to be performing a lot better than other times before.
Yeah. I guess which leads me to my army for the weekend. So we got Easterlings with Khand. Unfortunately, at this one, we're not going to be able to take the brand new Easterlings, which we might talk about on the next episode. But I'm excited to play. I'm excited to play as the Emperor. I can't wait. But Warband 1, we've got Rutabi, the General of the Dragon Legion, as my leader. With her, she's got 4 Easterling warriors with shield, 5 Easterling warriors with pike and shield, 1 warrior with a banner, 2 Black Dragon Cataphracts, 1 Black Dragon Cataphract with a drum. So kind of a hodgepodge of a warband, but she's got the drum in with her and a couple of horses to get that extra movement. And been able to keep them relatively close with another warband to get a march off to sometimes, but honestly, if I'm just drumming, I'm getting the extra movement, so that's perfect for me.
That's drumming.
Warband 2, I've got Brogir, and he's got 2 warriors with shield, and then 4 black dragon warriors with pike and shield. Give me that fight 4, and then 3 dragon cult acolytes. And then my last warband is my Khan warband. I got a Khandish chieftain with a chariot, and then 2 charioteers with bows.
They're
It's all the worst.
So altogether, just 3 bows, all in the chariots, and they can fire no matter how far they move, which is pretty handy. However, my whole strategy with them, which works about 50% of the time, is just deploy them as close to the opponent as I possibly can, and immediately march right in.
And I'm over.
Yeah, and start thumping over some people. Which, like I said,
on our last game.
Yeah, our last game it definitely worked, but like I said, it works about 50% of the time.
Yeah, it worked on me as well.
Yeah, Boone and I played a match day before yesterday on Monday, and first turn, 1 priority, marched in with my chief and the other 2 chariots, and they rocked 5 warriors and 2 horses down or something like that.
Yeah, it was
so almost knocked out an entire warband of his in the first turn before he could do anything.
I did not have fun.
But then after that, I couldn't get the kills, and they were just kind of stuck. So if I don't end up rolling through people, they just become null and void real fast, which sucks. But if that happens with Rutabi, I generally try to rush the opponent's leader, and as long as I'm within 6 inches, I just end up playing heroic chicken with them because she's got Master Battle, which is super awesome, and it's 3+, which is insane. So half the time, which ends up being more than half the time, I feel like I end up getting a free heroic, no matter what it is.
60% of the time, every time.
Yeah, exactly.
We
kind of play and wait and see who's going to do the first heroic, and most of the time, I'm able to hold off my 3 might and just wait until they call a strike or a combat, and I say, okay, me too, and roll a 3+ and end up winning anyway. So
those chariots, like, even if they like get stuck to start, if you're not like, if you move them into like the main line that isn't particularly killy, like what happened when we played, you got stuck on my blob for like 2 turns, and then on turn 3 you went through half of it.
Yes. So if I'm able to win priority again, it gets pretty awesome. But
just having the chariot having D7 and 3 wounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just annoying because you hit that most of the time and not the rider, and most of the time you miss because it's D7.
Yeah. If Boone, you hit the chariot, probably like 80% of the time, and you only got 2 wounds on him. So
I was lucky when I played against you. I'd seen you play 3 times with them. I was like, I gotta kill those chariots. I got them pinned down in the beginning.
Yeah, and
that really changed the course of the game.
And it really does. I mean, everybody else in the army is pretty good. The Dragon Cult Acolytes and Rutabi are pretty killy.
Their fight is ridiculous with them.
Yeah, and the problem with the Acolytes is that they're so paper thin on defense that even a gust of wind kills them. So
I definitely target them.
Yeah, I kind of have to pick and choose when I actually go full bore with them. But usually I'll keep them 6 inches out and just throw daggers all day long. But I'm running bow gear for the first time. I've only had a few practice matches with him, and so far he's okay. Against Tim, he kind of had a heyday because of shield wall. Tim had to keep all those guys close, so trimmer into 1 and ended up killing 4 of them. But so armies like that, he's gonna have a blast with. But honestly, he's really there for mainly Fury, so I can give auto courage pass for everybody. But yeah, I'm excited to see how he goes. I think I've only got 1 will point back with his special rule, so hopefully I'll roll more 6s with him this weekend. But yeah, I kind of. What's up?
Oh no, go ahead, finish your thought.
I was gonna say my whole goal is just to get to the leader as fast as I can. I mean, Rutabi's kind of the same with Amdur. Amdur's a leader killer, so that's what I want to do with her. She's just, I think, maybe a little bit better because of Master of Battle. It's hard to say because Amdur is super good at hero nuking, but Master of Battle is amazing. So I'll take that any day.
Any armies or legions you guys are thinking about Like the next tournament, I'm probably still going to bring Rohan because the next tournament will probably be the first time I have an actual fully painted army.
Right.
But after that, with this new supplement coming out, there's a couple like Orc, Moria, Orc, Beastie like mixes I've been thinking about running.
The new Mordor Moria Legendary Legion. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing.
Yeah, but are there any armies or lists you guys like are thinking about tackling next besides these ones?
We already have the models for it, and I also have a command box I need to put together. But I think I might go back to Isengard, either Scouts or just because that's like my first love in battle companies. Just based purely off of RNG picking it, but I like the I like the way that their elite units play. I gotta get when our battle company series that eventually will happen because it has to since we play it a ton. The audience will meet Roger, the
Roger,
the feral.
Roger and Fistock.
Roger Fistock.
Fistock is gonna be no more. I think Matt's gonna be able to put a sword into his hand. So.
I'm just gonna break it off.
And I'm just gonna I'm gonna buy another box of Rokai Warriors and intentionally have them like unequipped and also be Fistock's Legion. It's just a unit of warrior Urkai monks.
That's great.
That sounds amazing.
But yeah, just the raw killingness of their berserkers and ferals it's just a ton of fun, and being able to swarm them in is whereas like Gondor is all about formations and battle lines, and then my current strategy does rely on actual battle tactics of essentially attacking in wave. Yeah. But that one is very much like, all right, go run, kill.
Yeah. It's very ambushy and here's my guys type of army.
I see a formation. I now have it surrounded with crazy half-naked dudes wielding 2 giant swords.
I'm thinking about going with some Ints and or the Bears.
Yeah.
They look like a lot of fun.
I think you might be able to do bears and ants, if I remember reading the books correctly. So
I haven't seen an ant in person yet.
Yeah, neither have I.
Oh, it's because they don't exist, Boone.
Do it.
I forget. We don't actually live in Middle Earth.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, actually. But living in Hobbiton, I feel like we'd be fine, except for that whole part where gotten saved by Saruman. But other than that, I'd be fine. But Griff, you should also install Lord of the Rings Online because now you can play as a Bjornin, so you can be a bear man in the game.
Yeah, it's so gonna be. It's gonna be so much fun.
That's fantastic.
Like smack people with the bear fist.
What about you, Will?
I don't know, man. I love Easterlings so much, so I might end up sticking with them for a while, especially with the Emperor coming in, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
I'm like 98% sure I'm gonna buy it probably tonight. So
I'm 98% sure it's in my card right now.
I'll probably stick with them. I think my backup is going to be Angmar because I've got most of the pieces besides Golivar, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to find him for a decent price. So.
And I haven't the past couple Angmar lists I've seen. I haven't seen him.
Yeah, I think if I'm going to do Angmar, I want to do Angmar. So I'm going to have Golivar, Witch King, and Shade, and then a couple of Deadmar Specters, and just go
and
full spirit and undead,
and a film accurate Witch King cosplay.
Oh yeah, of course, you have to.
Must. Yeah. Ooh, I also want that elephant.
Yeah, we do too.
I try to get.
This one, all the giant guys.
They're fun.
Dude, it looks so much fun.
You get to trample with the bigger guys.
Yeah, they look pretty cool.
Actually,
GTFO.
The ants have a special rule where in combat they can pick someone up and
you
bash someone to death.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I want to play them.
You keep doing it until everyone in combat with you is dead or you fail the wound. So you can pick one guy up and murder like 10 people and then keep going.
Yeah, Beorn and Grimbeorn have a very similar rule too. Their brutal power attack is the first model in the fight takes a strength 10 hit, and I think it's actually just one model. You pick one model, they take a strength 10 hit, and then you continue to do strength 10 hits until you fail to wound.
Oh my god.
So if you get in on Aragorn, you can just wipe through all of his fate and all of his
Wow.
wounds.
Oh yeah, doesn't it one hit kill? Wasn't that what it was? Like it just.
So, I mean,
Isn't that what
potentially it
that
could be,
does?
but it's one strength 10 hit, and then if you wound, you do another one. If you wound, you do another one. If you wound, you do another one. And if you don't wound, then you stop. But the chances of doing a strength
Crazy.
10 hit on almost anything is pretty high.
And we'll have to get Dark and Age of Sigmar with the Sons of Behemoth or the Ogre Maw tribes, because their 2,000 point list is just 5 huge dudes.
Yep.
What about you, Boone? You gonna stick with Rowan?
For a while, and then there's a couple new legendary legions centered around like spell casting, which I want to try. I haven't played with Magic at all yet. I did against Tim on Tabletop Simulator, but nothing happened.
Then I just
And it's Tabletop Simulator. It's hard to get your full grip on something on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Rohan, you've got access to so many different things. Like we want to do a Prince of Theodred, which seems really fun.
Yeah.
We also want to run Sons of Eorl, which look really fun. So
They tear it up.
yeah, we've got some options with Rohan.
Yeah, and I don't know. I want to build up the generic good Gondor and Rohan, and like the generic evil Mordor, and I don't know, someone else, and do like Pelennor.
Yeah,
Crazy stuff. Yeah, I don't know. That's. Oh, go ahead.
The one thing I do kind of want to try, since we have them, we might as well play a Barad-dûr list and just roll with the big man himself.
Yeah, we have Sauron.
Yeah, we've got Sauron, so that might be kind of fun. Which I think we might actually see at the tournament this weekend. I think you mentioned that.
There's rumors that.
So there's rumblings in the east that he might be coming back.
Oh,
but Sauron versus 23 horses.
Somehow he returned.
I might take Sauron.
How many points is he? Is he ridiculous?
He is
like 400.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a lot, but he also does a lot. Plus, he has the one ring. Yeah. So, what you gonna do about it?
Yeah, actually. Oh man.
There's a couple miles. Frodo, and Gollum maybe. And then
I think certain time period Gollum has it.
Isildur, I think.
Bilbo,
yeah.
And then a named character that we don't have yet, also.
Who?
Anarion.
Oh,
remember, in Isildur's profile, it says he cannot wear the ring if Anarion's in the same army list. Which
where's Anarion?
Which we don't have Anarion, so I don't know. Dark Lord Sauron is 400 points.
Oh,
yeah. Fight 9, strength 8, D10. 3 might, 6 will, but he gets a free will point every turn.
Oh, okay, so it's
he's crazy.
Yeah.
I figure we'll do this tournament and see how it goes and kind of report back and
maybe do a car vlog.
Yeah,
we do a car vlog.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about our matches and how they went, and just let the people know if we won anything.
Yeah.
I'm going for at least best painted army this time around. We gotta win something between the three of us here.
Next tournament, I'm gonna try to win that. Maybe a display board before then, because that helps a lot.
I'm working on display board tonight. I might be able to finish that by Saturday, so we'll see.
Ooh, I have 2 of my Rohan command pack to glue together. Then everyone's ready.
Nice. Maybe if I buy a whole new set of Urukai to create Fistox Legion, I will do them 80s synthwave like my Stormcast. Get someone like some shoulder glasses. Yeah.
You gotta do a display board where it's just the grid on the ground.
Yes, yeah. You have Saruman in like Technicolor robes, make him look like the Hacker Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wearing green stuff with Power Glove.
That'd be pretty.
Yeah. Don't forget to check out the Patreon. Yes. Check out the other videos on the channel. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Comment. All those good things. YouTube wants
if you're listening to this, Mr. YouTube himself asked us to say that.
Yes.
And if you're listening, because I think I'm gonna try to get this out on like Spotify and Apple and all that good stuff. If you're listening to it, go to YouTube because that's where all of our main content is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give us
just
a shout.
everything's just Tabletop Collective. Super easy.
Yep.
Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us what you want us to do. Tell us what you don't want us to do, and we'll think about it.
Too bad, we'll do
maybe
it
we'll listen.
We're still
If you ever mention an unpainted model in a video, we'll strip another model for the next video.
Yep. For every comment that says paint your models, we will live stream stripping them.
That is merely a threat and not a promise.
Trust us,
Maybe.
we want to play with painted models, and it's happening.
Yes.
Believe it. In the words of my hero, Naruto Uzumaki.
We can get this if we want, but can I hijack a moment before you sign off for a moment of good shout out? Just try it.
yeah.
So another creator in the Lord of the Rings space, Ebony Warrior Studios. He's a voice actor as well as a cosplayer, and he built himself full film accurate Warrior of Gondor armor.
Wow.
But he is currently out of work and unable to do more cosplays because he has a ruptured Achilles. So he's going to be out of commission for several months while he recovers. But he has his Venmo posted in his Instagram and TikTok though, and has asked for donations if he feels obliged. So
yeah, we can put a link in the description or whatever.
Yeah, check him out.
A couple little shout outs too. That just reminded me. There's an
Just go
awesome
for
guy
it.
named Matt. We'll just do Matt. That's his first name. That's
Yeah,
all we'll say.
he's a really cool guy named Matt.
It's beautifully painted models. And then we have coming down the pipeline. We have a collaboration with Omega Terrain.
Heck
He actually
yeah.
just sent us our first look at a couple pieces of our terrain piece he's making for us.
Do you have him up on your phone right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, show
and I'll
the
put
people
'em-
a little glimpse.
I'll put them in our Discord, and you can get into our Discord by becoming a patron. And I think you get in with just the $1 tier. So,
yes.
Yep.
but he's gonna build us a like a watchtower, like in say like the beacons from Rohan to Gondor, something like that. Something that we can use as a big central objective. So there's one.
Yeah, that's
and
so
there's like
awesome.
a little
I'm so excited.
wall piece.
So good.
Yeah, he does. I'll shout him out a little bit more. He does some crazy work. Like here's just a little ruin.
Oh.
Real nice looking stuff.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's
Heck yeah. So check them all out. Be sure to check us out. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll be coming at you with more episodes after this. Thanks guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I almost actually quit.
I almost actually